You're listening to The Sports Fix.
Portions of The Sports Fix brought to you by Harry Buffalo. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Jump over to Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/TheSportsFixCLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, The Sports Fix on social media, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. Join the Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
Hi, I'm Hector Marinero. You're listening to The Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
Welcome in, everybody. Indeed, we are live on the air, off and running. The Wednesday Hump Day edition of the Sports Fix. Off and running, baby, and a lot of things going today as usual. Looking ahead at what we've got coming just about 35 minutes from now. John McMullen from the Sports Network joins us today. Little different day than usual. He's going to be here, talk about the Browns and the latest going on. His thoughts on how they broke down the final roster, his predictions for the NFL here, and his win-loss record outlook for the Browns upcoming this season. John McMullen from the Sports Network. A lot I want to talk to about him, too. Michael Sam perhaps getting ready to land with the Cowboys, and that's the one place that I would argue signed him because of the publicity instead of keeping him away because of it, like we were talking about yesterday. We're going to get into all of that here. Wes Welker and what's going on with him, all the latest with the NFL news and notes. John McMullen from the Sports Network just about 30 minutes from now. Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan back with us here as he is each and every Wednesday. Dan's going to talk a little Tribe, we'll talk a little Browns, and then we'll settle in and talk some Buckeyes with Dan as we look back at Ohio State and Navy. I want to talk to him, his questions about the defensive line and the quarterback and debut of JT Barrett. And then we'll look ahead to Virginia Tech. Is this perhaps the first of several teams that may be able to reach up and bite the Buckeyes here? We'll talk about all of that with Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan, and we're going to open up the phone lines. I know yesterday missed several phone calls throughout the day, so first, I'd say 30 minutes of today's show, I'm going to fire up and open those phone lines. So if you're able to get through and get in, that'll be a great time to do it. And then we'll reopen them again at the end of the show. We're going to kick things off here, talking a little bit of Indians, and disappointment is where I'm going to start with things in a moment. I got to get the introductions out of the way. But yeah, disappointment, yes, in the result of the game, but disappointment in the crowd, I gotta tell you. And I know I tweeted something this morning. I said we've had this discussion a few times a year, but on the day-to-day level, I really lay low with the attendance thing. But man, last night, I mean seriously, guys, the Indians within a handful of games of the division and of the wild card, you're playing a top quality team, so the marquee value on the opposite side is high. It's a competitive situation as far as a team that you're in direct competition with in both of your playoff races. I mean, it had all of the things, September, contention, everything there needs to be. And I understand that on a Tuesday night, fresh off of a long holiday weekend with kids back in school, you're not going to put 40,000 people down there for that game. I fully understand that. But there's no way that less than 10,000 people should be there. And the reason I say that is because this is no slight to the teams that I'm about to mention, because we talk about them all the time, and you guys know I love the Monsters. I'm not talking about playoff games. I'm not talking about the Arena Bowl that sold out the queue. I'm not talking about any special games. I'm talking regular season games. The Monsters and the Gladiators have both had at least a handful of regular season games that equaled or surpassed the attendance at the Indians game last night. And, it just... like I said, it's a drum, and it's been beaten over and over, and I don't blame fans that can't go. I understand the economy, and I understand how much cooler and better the view is at the seat on your couch with your TVs and your surround sound systems and the money you've got invested there that you used to invest in the live event experience. I get all of that, man, but still, just a little... Man, disappointing, and then the result on top of that, Cody Allen. And, that's the way this season has gone with everything going in different directions, is that, when you least expect it, once you're starting to get everything together, you get the breakdowns in the areas where you haven't had them before, such as in Corey Kluber, such as in Cody Allen there in the ninth inning. And they're more startling because those are the guys that have held it together, waiting for everybody else to come join in and be a part of contributing to this thing. So, it's a little more shocking. And, man, both times Cody Allen bit by J.D. Martinez, man. That middle of that Detroit lineup is no joke. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to pick up the pace here. I'm disappointed, but I'm not heartbroken because destiny is riding on our side, guys. So let's talk about all of that. We're going to open up the phone lines. Let's get this bad boy rolling, talking some Tribe. Welcome in, you guys. J-Rock here, welcoming each and every one of you into the Sports Fix, no matter how you're listening to us across the Sports Fix radio network. I'm Jerry Myers, J-Rock, as I said, the Big Daddy on the microphone, the coordinator and the conductor of the madness here, Monday through Friday, live at noon, right here on the Sports Fix Radio Network on TuneIn's radio application worldwide. Perhaps you're listening to us on Spreaker and Mixler Live. I see my guys down there in the Mixler chat room getting it on over there, the Peanut Gallery. Or perhaps you listen to us directly off of the home base, thesportsfix.net. However you're joining us live, welcome in, all of you around the world. And, of course, all of you, the thousands that listen daily around the world 24/7 on digital delay. Welcome in each of you listening on iHeartRadio, the world's largest internet radio provider, on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and CarPlay and SoundCloud, all the other podcast platforms, the downloads, the subscriptions, however you enjoy the show. Welcome in, you guys, to another loaded Wednesday, Hump Day edition of the Sports Fix. As we get underway, I'm going to open up the phone lines. Like I said, missing some calls yesterday. Let's fix that today. Get in. Let me know where you're at. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535 is the number to call. If you can't get to the phone, then use your social media and stay in touch with us throughout the show. Be a part of the conversation, and we'll read some of the best tweets and comments on the air as we see them. Facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at the SportsFixCLE. I see the phone ringing already. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Once again, phone lines 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535. And again, you guys, as we get rolling back into it, last night, before I obviously, I'll talk more here as I was saying about the attendance, but for those of you that missed it, the last night game, the game played out all the way to the end. Really, it was looking like, cool, this is going to be a bounce back here, and the Indians are going to pick this thing up, which they needed with Verlander and Scherzer coming up here down the pike. They took the early 2-0 lead. Brantley gets on base. Santana, 23rd home run of the season. Carrasco, bases loaded, nobody out, gets out of it with minimal damage, gets himself rolling again. Another great night for Carrasco. 5 starts, real quick, aside from that. 5 starts now that he's been back in the rotation. 30 innings totaled, 3 earned runs, a 0.90 ERA. 34 strikeouts in those 30 innings pitched. Really, Carrasco continuing to, and that's a difference maker in why they've been able to contend down the stretch. And that was it. It was all there for the taking. It was all set. You're thinking, bam, here comes Chicken Al, and we're going to take care of business until you hit the 12. And by the way, up until the ninth inning. Tigers, 12 hits, 12 guys left on base, flirting with damage, getting out of it, doing what the Indians have done throughout this warmer run here and throughout the season, flirting with damage and getting out of it and avoiding it. But unfortunately, you walk Torrey Hunter, Miggy Cabrera gets on base next, and then you get through one, and it's just impossible. That is the beauty of the middle part of that lineup that Detroit has. I mean, say what you will, and I am no fan of the Tigers, but I'm a fan of good baseball. And, man, try getting through that, as you've seen. Yes, it can be done from time to time, but on a consistent basis, very, very hard to do. I mean, each one of them is an adventure. You got Cabrera, you got Victor, you've got JD Martinez, who adds now that different element there coming up behind it, and even Torrey Hunter in the front of it, I mean, but that crew right there running, that is a gauntlet for every pitcher to get through. And bitten by the end of that, Cody Allen, JD Martinez gets him again. As I said, second time that Martinez has gotten him, and just like that, turns it around, sucks the life out of what was on it. It was right there for the taking. And now Tigers have taken the first 2 games of this series, a great start, washed out, and now you've got some work to do, some hard work to do here, because you've got to face the tough half of the series when it comes to the looking at the pitchers coming. I see you guys, the peanut gallery over there in the chat room with the Verlander jokes. I know, for those of you that don't know, by the way, I wonder how many of you have seen the photographs that are out there that Mr. Verlander and his missus are a part of. I have. I can't lie. I've seen them. And I saw them a couple of times. Not that I was looking, but it's my job to inspect and investigate things like that. And so I was doing my job and doing it well, very thoroughly investigating Kate Upton. And I mean, the photos of Justin Verlander and Kate Upton. And the media asking him questions about it was funny, and he was avoiding them. I'm just saying, I'd be proud, man. I saw the photos. I'd be like, yeah, that's my woman right there. What you trying to say? Look at me. Look at her. Look at me. Look at her. What are you trying to say? But no, he was trying to play it off. But they were getting him. The crowd was getting at him a little bit. Crowd was getting at him a little bit yesterday. But Justin Verlander, now he goes out there and faces the Indians and Danny Salazar and then Max Scherzer. But having some fun with the photographs. I guess there's a big thing there with the hacking the celebrity photos that are all out there or whatnot. I don't know. I may have gotten people in trouble. I found them. People getting sued, threatened to be sued for showing them. I don't know. So go find them at your own. But they're not that hard to find. But it is pretty funny that everybody, some of the chants that I'm not even going to get into were pretty funny at him. Verlander said, I'm not going to comment on my personal life. The focus is on the Tigers. But I'd be like, hey, man, I'm just saying. I'm living life, and I'm doing well at it, fellas. I'd be flashing the thumbs up and the smile at the camera. But anyway, so Verlander goes tonight, and that's what I meant, though. Getting back to the serious part of it. Verlander and then Scherzer, you really needed to get to the rookie last night, and they did. They had it. It was right there for the taking. But you bounce back, and fear not, they will. Because of, destiny and that whole thing, man. So I'll tell you what, guys. We're going to... Exactly, Larry. Exactly. How bad could it be? You get the big picture of things too, and just Justin Verlander gets the big picture of it too. Both of them. And so, anyways, hey, we're gonna, you know what? Sit tight on the phones. Let's get this first break out of the way. I'm feeling good. See, I want to come back though because getting all the joking out of the way. Let's talk more about this game. I'm going to the phones. I've got callers on hold here. We're gonna get to the phones, and I want to talk a little more. How are you feeling about the attendance? I know. Again, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go into. We can do this again. We've done it before. It's not going to change anything at all. And but just disheartening. I saw Ron Graham posted. I think it was may have been on Twitter or Facebook page. About how the Royals drew $1.05 for 3 games for that series with the Indians over the weekend, and that's with weather looming and threatening and all of that stuff all weekend long. And what are the odds that the Indians draw that for this 4-game series added together, or even 75% of that? Because right now they're not even at half of that when you add the two crowds together, and I don't see it getting that much better tonight and tomorrow. Maybe you'll get a little bit of a bump up because of the level of pitchers and the name value that's out there, but it's not going to be much. I mean, I can't see if it's not going to Wednesday night with weather looming. I can't see more than 13,000 tonight if